Guys, we've got Indi Young, independent empathy researcher here, and Indi just had a talk at UX Poland User Experience Conference 2014. Indi, what was your research about? Because this was not just a talk, just a keynote. You did a research and you completed some work here during these 2 days, or 3 days in fact.
Yeah, 3 days. It took 3 days.
Would you please elaborate a bit on that?
Certainly, yeah. What I wanted to do was sort of summarize what the conference was about, and I think I started out with the idea of just like summarizing what the presentations was about, and I realized, some of these talks are coming in from out of town, and they may or may not actually work or jive with what people are concerned about in their own work. So I thought, I need to listen to a bunch of people who are participating, who are attending this conference, and just take a sampling and try to see what everybody's concerned about in their work, and then compare that to what the talks are about and see if there's a match. So the idea was to sort of do that, and I realized, there's no way I can do that all alone. So I asked the people who participated in my workshop to go ahead and be my team. And so I asked them to go out. Yes, yeah. So I did probably 4 or 5 of these listening sessions as well, and then they sent in a whole bunch of listening sessions. So this morning it was a mad dash to correlate all that data, stick it into a spreadsheet, and look for patterns. Last night I had sort of a story forming in my head about what was happening here and what the themes were.
And what? What exactly happened here?
Well, one of the things was that there was a lot of talk about humanity, the humanness of what we try to do, and making it accessible to everybody universally, making it easier for us to create as well. But there was also this overriding thing of being in Warsaw. I've never been here before. I've never been to Poland before. So at the same time, my brain was taking in all of the city itself. Right, looking at
and you combine them.
Yeah, looking at all the different things, and that's it. I tend to absorb things, collect things, and then make sense of them, and then spit them out. And maybe what I made sense of them is different than what you would make sense of them. But
well, I'm a citizen of this place, and so I don't see many things that you just noticed, which in fact is a best proof for hiring consultants from outside of the project and outside of the company, because
UIs.
People UIs, fresh sight. So
everybody's been talking about, one of the slides that I did was the mermaid. Is that river
Syrenka.
mermaid? Syrenka. Okay, yeah, and she has her
Sword,
defending her sword and her shield, and I noticed that on those posts that line every sidewalk that protect the pedestrians from the cars and the traffic going by, there's a little image of her protecting you from the cars. And I loved that. I felt very safe.
I'll never ever think about it. That was really good observation. And then
really
all the people I talked about, they just thought about it when they were going out of the room, the presentation room, that you noticed something that small and you combine this, you just found the relation, the thread to a mermaid standing in the middle of Old Town.
Right.
She's protecting, and this
is all these guys are protecting as well. Yeah.
So, how did you like the conference?
It was very energetic. I came in and I always ask, well, what's the audience like? What should I expect? And are there cultural differences I should respect? And I was told a few things, but like one of them was, they may not participate very much in your workshop, or maybe quieter. And I was sort of anticipating it being more of a suit and tie sort of environment. None of that was true. This is just like, it's the same kind of conference that I go to everywhere around the world.
This is a very specific kind of business, in fact. There's a lot of crazy people here. They are proud of being childish, in fact. It's totally different than, for example, business process management conferences or CRM or ERP or something like that. People are different, they expect different things, and in fact, more that you get during this conference, it's better for you and it's more creative. So that's the ambience.
It's interesting because we were just talking, a bunch of different people, but Natalia and I were talking about how there is a sense of, one of the things that I saw in the research is that there's this sense of wanting to help people, wanting to change things, wanting to go and do the big thing that's going to make a difference.
But it's very hard.
And it is very hard, but this is a personality trait, and this is true of all of us in the tribe of user experience design around the world. I think it's what kind of brings us. I know they're breaking things down around us.
Around and demounting everything.
I need the mermaid.
Yeah, we need mermaids, a few mermaids. But anyway.
It's hard to achieve.
It's really very hard to achieve, especially because of the difference between the hard earning money business and UX that in fact is perceived as something soft, something humanist, too humanist in fact to be profitable.
Right.
So when any big IT project, for example, technology projects is ongoing, the UX research, empathy and stuff like that is treated as an additional cost that you can cut easily without any loss.
Unfortunately, it's the key to making a project, even with IT, even with something that seems very technological and cut and dried. It's the absolute key to making more profit, or making, instead of profit, more success. Making it work. What are you pointing out?
because I thought it will fall down.
Probably. Radek, would you please push this wall on us? Just fall apart, and that will be the end of our our interview. Like everyone will explode here. Indi, I saw your workshop at the first day of the conference. I couldn't attend, unfortunately. I was on the other one. I was an assistant there. With Matt Ventre, but I heard from people that the ambient there was fantastic because people were quiet, they were listening, and because you worked on like emotions and you worked on what people feel, and there was one thing that maybe you would make it even richer, even better, and I mean a little subtle soundtrack music in the background. And that's why I decided to give you this little CD. I know it's
very cool.
Old school stuff. A CD, you probably use Spotify, but anyway, maybe you will find any friend of you can rip it, or you've got friends having a CD player.
I think I have one in my car still.
Maybe. So this is Alicja Węgorzewska. She's Polish and she sings beautiful opera songs in Italian and English.
Oh, thank you. This is actually a story I want to tell, which really touched me. Here in Warsaw, I decided the first day to go to the Chopin Museum. I didn't know anything about it except for his music, and I learned a lot about not only Chopin, but ethnographers that were working on folklore and traditions at the time, and him bringing some of the music into his compositions, which went against sort of the common way of doing it in Europe. And it was really interesting, much more learning than I expected. I walk out of the museum, go up some stairs to a park that I'd seen from a window, and I hear some lovely singing, gorgeous singing. And I'm like, wow, this must be an extension of the experience of the museum. And I saw these lanterns hanging, and I thought, oh, that's where they're broadcasting the music. So I go stand under the lantern, it didn't change. I'm looking around, there's a big building and a quad in it, and I look, and there's maybe the people are singing in the quad, just being exuberant. No one's singing in there. I noticed that there's windows open, and the singing is coming from in there. Yeah, it's the Conservatory of Music, and as you walk along that park, you can hear singing here, an instrument there, a different cello over here. Oh, it's fantastic.
Did you see this playing banks that you can sit down, push a button, and you can hear?
Yes, I was doing that the whole time I was in there. Yeah, and this was outside the museum though, and I totally thought it was a part of the museum. And I heard her singing as you walk around the park and you go down into the street. It was bouncing off the wall of one of the old buildings and coming out into the street. It was incredible.
I'll let you hear that. I already prepared it on my Spotify account to just give you a sample, but not now probably, because it will just wanted to thank you very much for your participation here and the work you did here and the closing keynote. And thank you very much for our interview, and hope you will enjoy this CD and it will remind you about this event and the venue here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.